Hey everybody. Well, first I'd like to address the obvious here. Um, I am Mr. Fisher. We decided um, that I was going to take over your class. Obviously, that's the goal of student teaching. Obviously, like many things, coronavirus kind of threw a wrench into that, but here we are. Anyhow, oh, and the other thing is, um, I apologize for not getting this lesson out sooner. I made a lesson and then it was for the wrong thing. So that's on me. But anyhow, we're going to just go ahead and get into it. Today we're talking about bills, specifically water, gas, electric, phone, and cable bills. So our lesson objectives today are to become familiar with your bills, to know if you're being charged the right amount, and the differences between bills. So first off, we have the water bill. Your water bill is based off of usage, meaning it is based off of how many times or how much water you use, usually on a monthly basis. Um, so, Obviously, the more water you use, the more you're going to get charged. This usually goes up, especially in a state like Minnesota. This usually goes up in the spring slash summertime because obviously we're not out watering our gardens or our grass in January. There's nothing to water. Um, but when you're dealing with all bills that are based off of usage, make sure the amount they are charging you makes sense, and make sure you have an idea, like a rough idea of how much you should be charged per month. If you are not using, so you don't run into a situation where you're not using a ton of water and you're not, maybe it's still kind of a weird time in the year, like now, where it's like April, but it's kind of snowing sometimes and it's kind of not, so you haven't been watering anything, and your bill goes up a bunch. Well, you're going to want to investigate that because that probably means you're getting overcharged. Now, obviously, if you've started watering your grass, or maybe you started taking hour-long showers or something like that, and then your water bill goes up, well, then that makes sense. So just to stay on top of it and have an idea of, well, this doesn't look right, and then to go ahead and investigate that and call up the company. Gas and electric bill, also based on usage, usually goes up in the wintertime. Again, especially in Minnesota, we use a lot of gas, and especially gas and electricity to heat our houses. Um, well, actually, there's, I guess, electric also can go up. I guess I wrote this out a little bit weirdly because um, gas, of course, will go up in the wintertime. That's how most houses are heated. Some might be heated with electric too, so that could make your bill go up. But then a lot of times your electric bill will go up in the summertime if you use a lot of air conditioning. Um, and that's the same thing as the water bill. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure if you get a ridiculous gas bill for whatever reason and it's July and you haven't had the heat on at all, well then that's a little suspicious. So make sure to investigate that. Another thing when I was doing some research on that is look out for vampire appliances. Make sure you don't have a phone with like a phone charger plugged in, or like a fan you just left on, or a TV left on all day. Stuff like that, where you're just unnecessarily wasting electricity. That's a huge reason as to why your electric bill can get expensive because you just forget about things like that. So just to stay on top of that, and plus, it's better for the environment anyway. So it's saving you money and it's saving the earth. Everyone's happy. Just make sure you turn your things off if you want to, not pay a ridiculous electric bill. Um, so phone and cable bills are a little bit different. They're not based on usage. They're usually based on you're paying the same amount. So much like I think a Netflix subscription or, you know, a Spotify subscription where you're only paying like what Spotify's like $8 a month or something, and Netflix now is like $15 a month. But it's like a um same amount every month, which is really nice because then you can sit down and just budget it out pretty easily. Just just multiply whatever you're being charged by however months you're paying, and bam, you pretty much know how much you're getting charged all year. Um, However, if you're being charged more, you should investigate it. You might, so maybe sometimes there's an option with your cable company or your cable service, and you can rent out a movie or buy a movie or whatever, and then you'll get charged more. That makes sense. Or maybe with the you went, oh, I have a typo here, went over, maybe went over on minutes on your cell phone or your phone plan, in which case you're getting charged. That could be the case right there. But maybe they're just the company's just charging you more than they should in the first place, and in that case you need to call them and see what's going on. It could be a hidden fee, it could be they're just charging you more on accident, so you need to go ahead and investigate that again if it doesn't make sense. And this one should be kind of easier to notice too, because you should be used to getting charged the same amount every month. So if you're getting charged $15 a month, and then all of a sudden it's $35, you're gonna be like, what the heck? And um, and be more, aware and be more willing to investigate that. A little something else to consider: billing address versus home address. If you're renting out property, this could be in the way future or whatever, but there's a chance you guys could be property owners of multiple places. Um, Make sure the company is sending the bills to the billing address. That sounds obvious, but it's a simple error a lot of people make. You're just used to writing down your home address for everything. Um, and why that's important, is when they're when they're so they so when they're sending the bills to you, you can go ahead, see how much your tenants are being charged, and then calculate their rent out, off of that. So you're gonna have to charge them more, probably. It depends on what lease you have set up, but you're probably gonna have to charge them more if they started using more water this month or more electricity this month. So you're gonna want to calculate that, so you can still be profitable, with your properties. Okay. Wrap up. So we just have three. Well, let's check. Yeah, you guys have three worksheets. Well, yeah, let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, good thing I double checked that. 4 worksheets. Like you've seen. All based on like what we went over. So please go ahead and submit those by Friday at 3:05. If you have any questions about this assignment, email me. If you have any questions about previous assignments, I would go ahead and email Mrs. Zank about that, since she designed those lessons. But since I designed these lessons, go ahead and email me about the week 4 materials, and any other materials you hear my lovely voice on in the future. So thanks, guys. Bye bye.